the king of kings.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
I'm dropping the hammer.
No, you're not.
And that's the bottom line.
Here, have a quarter, make a phone call.
I have wrestled with an alligator.
What?
I done tussled with a whale.
What?
I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
Funky butt loving. Did he say funky butt loving?
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
Let the big dog eat.
Woo! 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 It's time!
This is the Derek King Sports Show.
Good morning, everybody. Today is going to be a little bit different of a show. It's going to be a little bit more somber. There's a multitude of things that we're going to talk about, and we're going to try to get this in 30 minutes. This is going to be an emotional show. This is going to be a different format than what we're typically accustomed to. And as you've seen the headline of the show today, there are some things that I'm going to address, and I have to be very careful about how I address them, what I say, how I say it. And we're going to touch on all of it. Okay, so first things first, Fuel Sports Network. We're still here. Gateway City Sports. We're still here. GatewayCitySports.com. We're still doing our thing. That's not changed. And there has been some changes at the network as far as Fuel Sports is concerned. If people haven't seen the announcement of the Dirty has officially stepped down from B-Hawk Live. He's going to be taking a step back from other content and show creation and things like that. He's going to be focusing more on administrative stuff in the background because nobody had anticipated as we were working through all of this with Fuel and Gateway City and all the things that we've done, that it would grow as fast as it has and had the attention that it has had. It was good and bad both ways. But that was the big announcement this week earlier on. And, Dirty's still going to be here. He's still going to be around. No one needs to be worried or get excited, brother. It's not one of those things. There's going to be some really fun stuff. And I've always said that, kind of like told everybody, hey, guys, there's going to be some really fun stuff coming. It really is. I thank everyone that has been along on this ride up to this point, that has shown their love and has shown their appreciation for what it is that we're trying to do at Gateway City Sports and the Fuel Sports Network. So without further ado, to debut, this is a headline. Is the ride over? Is it finally over for us? There have been things that have happened over the past few weeks. And to say that I have been disappointed, let down, it really minimizes the feeling that myself and others have had on the particular subject matter. Nobody here, and I want to make this very clear, no one, myself, Dirty, the A-Train, anybody that's done shows, Amanda, anybody, Daddy Ed, so on and so forth. I mean, I could name Brett, so on and so forth. I mean, I can name so many people that have put so much effort into what it is that we've tried to do and tried to create for the fan experience, for everyone to be a part of and feel like they belong to something that's not just a money-making scheme, that's not just another NFL 2.0 kind of thing, as I wear the badge. It's kind of funny, ironic, as Atlantis Morissette would say. Mr. Jersey also as well. I need to give a shout out to Mr. Jersey and all the amazing things and the amazing work that he's done and put in, and busted his hump, and he's a passionate man, and that's one of the things that same with Dirty and Arlington, and we're all passionate about what we do here. So I'm going to get into a little bit of the details without doing too much. When we started doing this with Gateway City specifically, we did it with the intent of the fan in mind. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to hear? What do you want to read? Instead of the, wash, rinse, repeat, canned stuff that you hear on the radio or see on TV. We tried to bring more emotion, more family kind of vibe to it. That, we're fans just like you. We go to games just like you. We sit in the cheap seats just like you do. We root for our team. We boo them when they're bad. It's just, that's what we do. And we were really excited when the XFL came back in 2020. We were excited for the AAF when it came around. We were excited about all these alternative leagues and different options and different choices that came around because it gave us more options. It gave us more stuff to talk about and more things to do. And the disappointing part of that is, over time, those entities started to fade away. They failed for one reason and or another, whether financially, fan interest, whatever. And we really felt that this kind of balance had, naturally created itself through competition and, entities merging with one another, with the USFL and the XFL, creating the UFL. And we were pretty excited about that concept. And it's unfortunate that I know a lot of people in the league at different levels. And I will not name names of anybody in particular, either good, bad, or indifferent. That's not what I do. I will never do that. If you guys have followed my NFL coverage over the years with the Rams exodus in St. Louis, there's only been a handful of people that I have personally named by name. And I will not do that here in this situation for a multitude of reasons. That being said, when things as of late, and if any fan that's really tuned in to the fan pages and have seen the posts from mega fans and super fans, and again, I will not name specific super fans and anybody else, but everyone had been affected by the recent events of what's come out of the UFL, and specifically the Battlehawks front office. Again, I will not name names. I will not say who. We all know. A lot of the fans really know who is involved and what their impact on that was. And I want to make something very clear. I was so excited about the league that before the merger even happened, I had purchased season tickets, right down a field level on the Battlehawk side. And, I sit there every game, and I will continue for the rest of the season. That being said, I will not purchase any playoff tickets, and I will not go to the championship game. After what has occurred and what has happened, I, in good conscience, can no longer after my season ticket agreement has expired, I no longer can knowingly support this league. Again, somber, sad. Some people, it's going to hurt their feelings that I will no longer report big news on this league. No longer will I stump for this league. They know what they've done to a multitude of people. And whether or not that some of these things, and I'm going to take this banner off just because you guys get the hint now at this point, I want to make it clear that there are some guilty parties that have done some things that they shouldn't have done. But there are a whole hell of a lot of folks that got wrapped up in this nonsense and were kind of thrown under the bus. And our credibility was dragged through the mud, and we were labeled as, contributing factors to some of this stuff, which was nonsense. Frankly, to be honest with you, it stinks of a lot of different stuff. LaShawn, let me make it clear. I'm not going to get into really fine details. And the reason that I'm not going to get into fine details is because of what happened and the legality of it. Okay. So we're going to stay away from that as much as we can, because again, I have made it clear I will no longer support this league from this point forward. I will not even refer to them by name. I will talk about the Battlehawks. I will support the team and the players and the coaches. They did nothing wrong. The players are just doing what they should do. The coaches are just doing what they should do. The behavior of certain individuals within the league in administrative levels that have decided to headhunt and go after certain particular people that they deem necessary. It's kind of like finding the person, and then you find the crime to pin on the person, even though they didn't do anything like at all, weren't even in the country kind of thing, but yet still try to associate. And that is a disturbing, upsetting, sickening way to do business. It's one thing to, have a conversation with somebody, say, hey, we saw this, heard this, whatever. Just want to get your side of it. Just make sure, there's no shenanigans going on. That's fine. That's totally what a professional would do. I'm a professional. I have an education. I'm an educated man. I'm a learned individual. I'm more than willing to have a conversation with folks about, really anything that's not going to involve anybody getting in really any kind of serious trouble. The truth of the matter is that we were really hoping that this league would be the difference maker that they said they were going to be. When Danny Garcia and Dwayne Johnson bought the XFL with Redbird Capital, the whole idea and concept around the league was a league of opportunity. We're going to work with the grassroots, and we're going to do these things, and we're going to try to build this thing into something that is not like the major sports leagues, not like the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA. And we're going to do something different. And then the USFL happened. And I want to make it very clear, I was never really a fan of the USFL. I didn't like their program. I didn't like the way that they did things. They were very litigious, and it shows in their forceful takeover of what is now the UFL and putting their people in positions of power. That goes to show you their indignant type of behavior that they have, and especially in this type of situation. When Danny and Dwayne were running it, it was definitely more of a league of opportunity. There were more things. Fans can see it. When there was on-field stuff, there was season ticket holder stuff, and people could go on the field, they could meet the players, and they could do things. You can't do none of that now, can you? Huh? Can you? Can anybody tell me one thing that they've done for the fans this year? I mean, besides, litigious stuff and being kind of indignant. Can you tell me one thing? Because I haven't really seen anything. I mean, yeah, a couple of giveaways, yada, 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 whatever. But they really haven't done anything for the fans, have they? Besides 2023 when Dwayne and Danny were running it. And it was a much better ran organization at that time, at least for the fans' expectations. And we look at this now. We look at where we are here and now. And they are distant. They are removed. We look at the horrid marketing campaign that they had leading up into the season. Ask any of the super fans that are out there. The one that comes to mind is Sandy. Sandy, you know who you are. I make yourself made known in the comments section. She's one of the biggest super fans, one of the biggest cheerleaders, one of the biggest pom-pom shakers for the league for a long time. And she's become, somewhat disenfranchised from what I've seen in the comment sections and a lot of the fan groups because of the way that this league has now handled things. Again, I've been in big business for a very long time. I've been at multitudes of different companies at different levels. I'm a professional. My wife is a professional. I am fully aware of how we operate within those parameters. What this has become to me, and I want to preface this. My opinion, this is not fact. This is my opinion. This feels to me like this is people trying to save their own ass. This feels to me like this is people and individuals that are trying to pad their resume for their next job. This seems to me like not only is this league losing money, they are hemorrhaging money, and they're trying to claw back every cent they can in some way, shape, or form or capacity. I think the original hope for this league was that they could make something that would become interesting to the NFL that they would buy as a minor league system or a feeder system for the league. The reality is that the NFL doesn't need them. They don't need it. They don't want it. Let's look at it from a business perspective, do some quick math, and I don't want to bore anybody, but it's just a logical exercise that we would use in the business world. Why would I, as a business person, want to buy a failing company, and they are a failing brand and a failing company and a failing idea that is consistently losing money, and you want me to pay a premium for that entity to absorb it into my entity so that way I can fund it? The NFL has done nothing but make money. They print money. Why would they want to absorb a losing venture that will lose them money and cost them money? And for what? Scott, right on the money. Boom. Hit me before I even got to the point. They have a free minor league system of college football. They have the CFL. They have indoor football league now, which is, being reported on by our very own Will Freeman. So there's indoor football leagues. There was the Barn League for the longest time. There's all these other leagues. Why does the NFL have any interest? Here's the reason why I get to this point. It's the same thing that real estate moguls do in real estate business transactions. And I've have an education in this and a background in this, so I can attest to it. Why would you buy real estate at a premium whenever you could buy it off the courthouse steps for pennies on the dollar? It's just logical. Why would you go to the store and buy a TV prior to Black Friday when you know it's going to be $250 off in a couple of days? Cyber Monday, whatever. Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense because you already know. It's like, well, all I got to do is wait a couple more days and I can get it for next to nothing. But again, even the intellectual property rights of the entity aren't even really worth anything. If you absorbed it, they're worth something, but very minimal, very small intrinsic tangible value. But why would the NFL want to do that? They wouldn't. I have been following the NFL's business model for over 30 some odd years. I have watched them from every single level of how they operate. They would never buy the UFL today. They would wait till they went bankrupt. And this is if. This is a big if, because again, look at what Dwayne and Danny did when they bought the XFL. They had to absorb the debt. They had to absorb the cost of the league. They had to absorb a whole bunch of other things along with Redbird Capital, the investment group that funded a lot of it. So this was a big loss for them, and they've taken it on the chin, and it's unfortunate. But I'm telling you guys, if you want to support the league, that's fine. I will still go to the remainder of the games that I have purchased tickets for. I will root for the team. I will root for the players. I will root for the coaches. I wish them, those individuals, nothing but the best. But to those people, did you know who you are? Take a leap. You've shown your true colors and what you are and who you are. You know what you've done. You could just take it on the chin. I'm sorry. We're not going anywhere. You can't scare us. You can't threaten us. You can't do anything. You can't touch us. You could try, but you can't. And I know I'm a little abrasive. I don't really look at this situation and go, oh, I'm concerned. I'm worried. Oh, I'm not the slightest. The UFL doesn't concern me. They don't worry me. So, those fans that are out there that are watching this in the videos go, oh, yeah, right now, live and in living color. It's all good. It's all good, man. I still love you guys. We're still going to be doing NFL stuff. We're still going to be doing Major League Baseball stuff. Blues, MLS. I'm right here. City SC. You can see I've got the scarf back there to prove it. We're going to be doing a lot of that stuff too. It's not that we're going to stop. But I want to preface it. And this goes for me and my show alone. And I want to make it clear. I will no longer report or in any way, shape, fashion, or form promote the UFL in any capacity. I will no longer write pieces on it. I will no longer implore fans to show up to games. If you don't want to, I understand if you do, because I'm going to show up and I'm going to support the team and the fans and the players. And that's what I'm going to do. To hell with the front office. Who cares? They're nothing but a bunch of cutthroat gangsters anyway. So, what are they going to do? It's the same thing with the NFL. Go ahead, try, I'm not concerned in the slightest. The shows like the X-Fan showed, B-Hawk Live, and whatever iteration they were years and years and years ago, going back, over 5-6 years prior to 2020. The XFL STL show, the OG. They've built this league into what it is. It's organizations like that. It's groups like that and the fans like you that built the UFL into what it is today. And if they see fit to try to attack the fans and say, you guys are no good, we don't like you, well, then take them at their word. They don't like you. I know the players do. I know the players love you guys. I know the coaches love you guys. I know this is their moment. This is their watershed moment for them to be able to make it to the big league where the big boys play. That's their dream. That's their ultimate dream, is to make it there. Other people that are in the front office, and I don't want to lambash everyone in the front office. It's not everyone. It's select individuals. And to those select individuals who are padding their resume, and who are trying to make themselves look good on the way out the door, and those who have personal vendettas against certain individuals in media or whatever the case is, I don't sweat you. Never have. I fear no man. I fear no situation. Everything's negotiable and everything's serviceable and everything's workable. I don't say anything that is not true. If I label it as fact or I label it as my opinion, this is my opinion. This league is done. It's done. And you know how I know it's done? I think, frankly, to be honest with you, it was done before the season ever started. I think they knew off the numbers, seeing what is coming out of some of these markets, the abysmal attendance numbers, the abysmal support. Nobody's watching it on TV. Nobody's buying the merch. Nobody's doing anything except for in St. Louis. But we all knew St. Louis was the breadbasket of sports. Always has been. It's been voted the best sports city multiple times. Supported the Rams through multiple bad seasons, supported the football Cardinals through multiple bad seasons. Guys, I'm at a loss for words. This is rare for me, and you guys know this. This is why I have no format for today's show. This is off the cuff. This is out of my head, off the top of my head, to the best of my ability to be able to say things that I feel is necessary and I feel that should be said and stated. So going forward, I really hope that all of you all still follow the show and that you still tune in, and that we're going to go back to the normal format next week, and we're still going to do the normal stuff. But I felt like this is something that needed to be discussed. It's something that needed to be talked about. And I'm glad that this is where it is, and this is where it stops. So going forward, I hope that you guys are still with me on it. You guys stick with me through and through. I'm still going to be here. Dirty's still going to be here. A-Train's still going to be here. We're all still going to be here doing the same stuff, but we're just going to be doing it a little bit differently, because I don't play ball with people that are trying to leverage me in some capacity or threaten me into some capacity. I don't take that stuff very well as a business person. I'm very spiteful. I will cut my nose off to spite my face. That's just kind of the tendency of the way that I am. That's the way I operate business. I will cut ties even if it's at a loss, and for the sake of doing what's right, because that's all we can do, right? Is do what's right and be great fans. And that's what we've done. Now, obviously, the Battlehawks organization, as far as, like I said, certain people in the front office and certain UFL officials want to silence people. They want to shut people up. They want to get people to stop talking bad about them, or they want people to stop supporting them, apparently. So, give them what they want. They're asking for it. Give them exactly what they want. That's my opinion. I can tell you mine, and I have. And I hope that I've done that to the best of the ability. Again, no threats, none of that. Nothing but straightforward talk coming out of me. That's my opinion. And you can take it to the bank. This is Derek King with the Derek King Sports Show. Thank you guys for joining me this week. I'll see you guys soon. We're going to talk about more fun stuff. This is going to be different. We just needed to get this one out of the way. It's been cooking for a little bit. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.